Okay, hey y'all. I hope that you had a good 3-day weekend this weekend and are happy to be back at school. I am officially married now, which is crazy, but I will be back at school on Friday. So if you are taking the retest on Friday, then you need to make sure that you have your review done, and then you can come in and see me Thursday morning or Friday morning to go over your test. So just a couple of things about that. Also, your post-test homework that you picked up last class after the test, we are going to extend the due date because it is a lot of questions and it's really, really important that you try hard on that. So that will also be due Friday, but please do not forget it. Come into tutorials and I can help you work on that, but we're halfway through the semester officially, which means that the EOC is coming up, so we've really got to start practicing that. So just know, retest is next class, EOC review packet is due next class, and then I will be back next class. So today we're going to start chapter 7, which is about inequalities. We've done one variable inequalities before. We graphed them on the number line like up here, but now we're going to talk about two variable inequalities. So with an x and with a y and how to graph them, and then we'll get into systems of inequalities next time and all this cool stuff. So what I have here is the warm-up, and we're going to go over that together. So number 1 says write true or false for each inequality. So part A tells me that -2 is less than -3. True or false? Since it's negative, this is false. Okay? You can write that out so we can actually read it. -3 is actually less than -2 because of those negative numbers. So if you look at your number line up here, that's why we put it up there, you would see that this is really less than that. Okay? Part B says 8 is less than or equal to 8. That's true. That's true because of that little line that I drew underneath. Now this symbol looks kind of like a sideways L, like if you take an L and you turn it, it's kind of like a less than sign. If it just said 8 was less than 8, this would not be true. This would be false. But because we have the less than or equal to, it has to satisfy one of those, be less than or be equal to. This one used the equal to. This is a true statement. C says 6 minus 2, that's 4. Greater than or equal to 12 minus 8, that's 4. That would be true because of the equal to sign. And then I've got -4 quantity squared, which just means that the -4 is in parentheses and the squared's outside, is greater than -4 squared. Well, if we type that in our calculator just how it looks, let's see what -4 squared is positive 16 greater than -4 squared with the negative outside of parentheses, which is -16. So is 16 greater than -16? Yes. This one is true. Okay. Number 2, convert each equation into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is important. Y equals mx plus b. Find the slope and the y-intercept of each linear equation, then graph. Remember, we cannot find the slope or the y-intercept until we are in this form. So it's really important we know how to do that. We're practicing graphing lines right now because graphing inequalities is very similar to graphing a line. So on A, we have 2x minus 3y equals 15. And we need to change that into y equals 4. First thing we have to do is move our x. It's a positive 2x, so I make it a negative 2x on both sides, of course. Then I'm left with a negative 3y, don't forget that negative right there, is equal to 15 minus 2x because I can't combine, they are not like terms. Last step, gotta move the -3, so I'm gonna divide everything by -3. When I do that, I'm gonna have y by itself. 15 divided by -3 is -5. Negative 2x divided by negative 3 is positive 2/3 x. So this is my slope-intercept form. It's kind of squished, sorry. From here, I now know my slope, 2/3, and my y-intercept is negative 5. Now that it's in y equals form, if I want to graph it, I can go to my calculator and type negative 5 plus alpha y equals enter 2/3x. Second graph to look at my table, and I can just plot some good points. These are all fractions right here. So we can try to plot some whole number points so that way we can connect our line. So the point -3, -7 doesn't fit on here. The point 0, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is good. The point 3, -3 will work. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See if we can get one more. 6, -1. Like that. So then I'm going to draw in that line. Give it some arrows. And there's my graph. Same thing for B. Got to change it into y equals form. So I need to subtract 4x, because we always want to move x to the other side first. Then I'm left with 2y equals 10 minus 4x. Get rid of the 2 by dividing it out. Everything. And y equals 10/2 is 5. -4/2 is -2x. From there, I know my slope is -2. I know my y-intercept is 5. I can go back to my calculator and type that in. 5 minus 2x. Second graph, and just get a couple of good points. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1. 3, -1. 4, -1, 2, 3. And 5, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to draw that line in as best I can. Left my ruler at school, so this will have to do. And there you go, 2 graphs. We're not going to do number 3 because we don't need to know how to do that. Okay, so that was the warm-up. Next thing I need you to do is turn to page 475 in your binder. Now, this is chapter 7.1. We're starting chapter 7 today, like I told you. You ripped this out before we got new books. So this is not in the new book. Do not go get up and walk back there and try to take that. It's in your old binder. We ripped it out right before we got our new books. If for some reason you don't have it, I printed out some extra ones, so just ask Miss Skaggs, but please do not lose this, okay?